Welcome to the Veteran Affairs meeting, and we are going to start as a subcommittee because we have our two veterans that are in the audience, and of course they're here in a very timely manner. The rest of our committee is not here yet. So we are going to call, first I want to make a couple of quick announcements for anybody that's interested. The Orange County Veterans Cemetery update is available, and CalVet has said that they are happy to update anybody that would like to know what is going on in Orange County. And also for many of you, there was a recent audit of the CalVet software system, a medical software system, and we are going to be having a hearing in August to get some answers to the audit. So I am going to call up the Honorable Senator Nielsen, the chair of the Senate Veteran Committees, on SB 980.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman and Assemblyman Mathis. This bill seeks to, I believe, clarify a number of matters related to the Department of Veterans Affairs and to the operation and conduct of our California veterans' homes. The department has taken no position, but they have been very helpful and cooperative to us in working with it. It would empower the Secretary to, I would say, do more of a standardization control in the operation of the veterans' homes related to the admissions and some of the operations of the homes, and most importantly, implement a statewide electronic medical records. At your request, a study was done and it pointed out some difficulties, and we would hope that this might be a pathway to clarifying that. In addition, we're trying to update language in the codes, seeking greater clarity, and we would hope that that greater clarity will result in more efficiency in the operation of the homes and greater assistance for our veterans in dealing with the veterans' codes. I think the most important, though, would be related to the electronic medical records. With us here today to testify is Mr. Pete Conity, Madam Chair.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, members. Pete Conity, representing most of the veterans groups listed in support. But basically this, at one time CalVet was going to update the entire military and veterans code, but that project fell by the wayside, probably due to budget crunches. And so the area where the CalVet spends the most money is on the 8 veterans homes, $285 million annually to run the 8 veterans home. And that works out to be a pretty expensive proposition when you figure it in terms of 2,500 to 3,000 veterans. So a former CalVet deputy secretary and myself, he did most of the work, by the way, undertook updating the code. And to our amazement, we found out that still in code were sections from 1935 and 1948 on the books in the code. So we updated the code wherever we thought necessary. While they did not take a position, we had a lot of input from CalVet, because obviously they want the bill to come out correctly. So we took an awful lot of amendments that they suggested, and as such, we think we have an excellent bill here, and I really want to commend the consultant for organizing everything we put in the bill into a recognizable and organized fashion. And so with that, I'll stop talking and ask for an aye vote.
Any other witnesses in support?
Hi, good afternoon. Lorraine Ploss, American Veterans, Department of California. We're in support of this, and I'm also representing the American Legion, which I'm on the commission member, and they are also in support of this.
Good afternoon. Lorna Grease, representing Military Officers Association Council of Chapters here in California, and Vietnam Veterans of America here in California. We support this bill.
Do we have anybody else in support? Any opposition? Okay, we are going to take a roll call, please. We have a quorum.
Irwin,
Aye. Here.
Ashajian, Alejo, Arambula, Daly, Frazier, Mathis, Solis.
All right, I just had one quick question. Well, first of all, I commend you for doing this. I think it was long overdue. And so you did work with CalVet, it says, and you mentioned there was no official support from CalVet, but you've worked with them and they're happy with the final result, we presume?
We worked with them starting in November of last year. We worked with them after the bill was in print. We worked with them at every step along the way. They're not, I think that they're probably, speaking for them, 95% in agreement with the work product. We will continue to work with them as it goes forward through appropriations, the floor, and back to the Senate and over and down to the governor. So it's been a collaborative effort. And of course, everybody knows that the new Secretary of CalVet has made it his mission to improve the 8 veterans' homes and how they're being run. And this gives him the authority to do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the committee? Okay, we have a motion by Assemblymember Mathis and a second by Assemblymember Arambula. Vote, please.
Motion is due, passed, and refer to appropriations. Irwin,
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Ashajian, Ashajian, aye. Alejo, Arambula, Arambula, aye. Daly, Daly, aye. Frazier, Mathis, Mathis, aye. Solis, Solis, aye.
The bill passes 6-0.
Madam Chair, I want to compliment your consultant, to Mr. Spangler. It's a brave undertaking to ever try to review codes, Mr. Conity as well, and all others in the department. That's almost never undertaken in government, and this was a bold undertaking, and it is to be commended, and I do appreciate your staff's cooperation and able assistance. Thank you, members. Thank you, Madam Chair.
We have Senator Roth up now, and you will be presenting on SB 866.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members, Senate Bill 866 clarifies that applicants of the Veterans Housing and Homeless Prevention Program may use Prop 41 bond money to provide women-only housing with women-centric supportive services to female veterans who are victims of military sexual trauma. As you know, women who were assaulted, raped, or sexually harassed during the military service suffer from the effects of military sexual trauma for years in the form of psychological, physical, and social problems. Some suggest that military sexual trauma is more likely to lead to post-traumatic stress than even combat exposure. The VA has reported that approximately 1 in 4 female veterans report experiencing military sexual trauma. Making up only 4% of the veteran population, female veterans often report feeling intimidated in predominantly veteran facilities, male veteran facilities, where sexual assaults remain all too common. In fact, and this was surprising to me, female veterans experience sexual assault after their military service at up to 12 times the rate of the general civilian population. This concern for their own safety often leads female veterans, especially those who have suffered military sexual trauma, to be deterred from accessing the housing and supportive services they need and they richly deserve. To the extent that developers in the state refrain from moving forward with gender-specific housing projects for victims of military sexual trauma under Prop 41 because of concerns that such projects would violate federal and state housing discrimination laws, this bill specifically authorizes such projects and identifies a compelling state interest in them. The bill also provides legislative findings and declarations consistent with developing case law to allow this type of housing project to be built without violating our federal and state housing laws. The bill is supported by veterans organizations, has had no opposition to date, and has received no votes to date. And I'd respectfully ask for your aye vote.
All right, so we have a motion by Assemblymember Daley, a second by Assemblymember Mathis, and that motion is due pass to appropriations. Vote, please.
Irwin?
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Ashajian, aye. Alejo?
Okay, I have to stop for a sec. We missed the witnesses in support. I apologize. We were so excited to get going.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. This Lorna Grease, representing Military Officers Association, Council of Chapters, and Vietnam Veterans. We're very much in support of this.
Lorraine Ploss, State Legislative Chair for American Veterans, who is in support of this, and on the Commission for the American Legion, Department of California, also in support.
Any other witnesses in support? Any in opposition? All right. Do we need to start over?
No.
All right.
Arambula? Aye. Arambula, aye. Daley? Aye. Daley, aye. Frazier? Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Solis? Aye. Solis, aye. 6-0.
All right, that motion passes 6-0, and as I said, it's going to move on to appropriations. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair, members, thank you for your consideration.
Perfect timing, Senator Monning. You are up, and you will be presenting SB 1059.
Still sitting in two committees simultaneously. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members. Senate Bill 1059 will correct a legislative oversight that will block some veterans in California from utilizing their GI Bill benefits to receive a legal education. In 2014, the legislature restructured the criteria that determine which degree-granting institutions are eligible to accept Title 38 veterans benefits. This change inadvertently removed eligibility for law schools that are accredited by the California State Bar's Committee of Bar Examiners. These 19 State Bar accredited law schools are almost exclusively four-year nighttime programs that serve a non-traditional student population. These schools are typically more affordable than larger ABA schools and offer an educational format that is often the only option for students with families, professional students, or those seeking a career change. Thank you. Bar-accredited law schools must maintain specified bar passage rates and are approved only through an extensive accrediting process modeled after ABA accreditation and comparable to that of regional accreditors like WASC. In the interest of time and to afford my witnesses maximum opportunity, I'll want to request your aye vote at the appropriate time. With me, I have deans of the Monterey College of Law and the Lincoln Law School here in Sacramento, Mitch Winnick and James Chiavenza. Mr. Chiavenza is also the president of the Association of Accredited Law Schools in California. With the chair's permission, I'd like to present those witnesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. AB 2099 extended the absolute appropriate protection through accreditation standards for veterans that was necessary at that time. This bill does a great job of extending those protections to California accredited law schools as well. I think, as the Senator pointed out, this extends that opportunity for veterans who are in many, many towns across California, the 17 that are served by our California accredited law schools, to pursue legal education using the California GI benefit or the GI benefits that they have earned through service to the country. Our schools have provided this education for well over 40 years, and our review of the records show that there have been actually no complaints ever under this set of bills for any of our schools. So we would also ask you to pass this bill. Thank you.
James Chiavenza, President of the Association of California Accredited Law Schools and Dean of Lincoln Law School of Sacramento. I just want to bring this to you personally in terms of a young woman I interviewed as part of the admissions process in May, 33-year-old veteran, has wanted to go to law school since high school moot court competition, earned her undergraduate degree, earned a paralegal certificate, 3.8 with her undergraduate degree, has an 80 percentile LSAT score, wanted to attend our school. Of course, she had the appropriate background for admission. I admitted her, and she asked about the GI Bill, and I said she couldn't use it at our school. She was going to have to move to another area where she could attend a school where she would be able to receive her Title 38 benefits. And she said, no, I'm going to stay, but I'm going to have to borrow the money to go to school. And that's what we're trying to cure, what the Senator's trying to cure with SB 1059, and I would appreciate your support.
Any other witnesses in support?
Madam Chairman, Pete Conity, representing the California State Commanders Veterans Council and the California Association of County Veteran Service Officers and the American GI Forum. This is an interesting bill because it's correcting an error that was made through legislation last year that got by everybody, which sometimes happens. So I'm glad to see, and we've been in support of this bill since the beginning, and I'm glad to see that this oversight, or what we did last year, is being corrected. Thank you.
Lorraine Ploss, Sam Vets, we're in support, and American Legion, we're in support.
Lorna Grease, Military Officers Association, Vietnam Veterans, we're in support also.
Any witnesses in opposition? Any questions from the committee? I do have one quick question. I don't know if it's for the senator or witness. About how many students will this impact?
Our estimate's about 200 a year are veterans that attend the California accredited law schools. So, and these are in the regions that our schools serve, anywhere from Chico down to San Diego.
Very good. Member Mathis.
Senator, thank you for carrying this. With the question of how many does this impact, how many veterans have shied away from law school? That's the true question here. And it's probably thousands. And what this does is it lets them know that this is able and it's there for them now. And so instead of having our veterans shy away, and instead of only having 200, now we can start talking about thousands of veterans moving forward. So thank you. It's much needed.
Very good point. All right, we have a motion by Assemblymember Mathis, a second by Assemblymember Salas. Can we have the roll, please?
The motion is due, pass, and refer to appropriations. Irwin?
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Ashajian, aye. Alejo? Arambula? Arambula, aye. Daly? Aye. Daly, aye. Frazier? Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Salas? Aye. Salas, aye. 6-0.
All right, and that motion is due pass to appropriations. Congratulations.
Great. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members. And also like to thank the witnesses for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Senator. What? Senator. Good afternoon, Senator Morrell.
Hey, how are you?
Good timing. You are here to present SB 1155.
I had about a half-hour presentation, but I think in lieu of that, I'll just ask you to respectfully for an aye vote. Thank you.
All right, witnesses in support.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Huntington, Chairman of the Board of CALI, the California Association of Licensed Investigators, the largest investigative association in the world. We are fully supportive of this bill.
Any other witnesses in support?
Yes, Pete Conity, representing the aforementioned veterans groups. The consultant raises some interesting questions in this bill. And I think they're questions that needed to be asked. And I think we need to ask them of all future bills starting next year. I think we should move this bill along to the governor's office because it does several things. It will help veterans get licenses in the state of California. We've always struggled to get them credit for their military service with California professions, and we have been pretty unsuccessful in that attempt, in that endeavor, because sometimes the licensing bodies don't want to give credit for military service. The one I'm thinking of the most is the post requirement for law enforcement that did not want to and resisted giving credit to people who served in the military, in the military police, the shore police, and the air police. Recently, I got a comment that the city of San Jose waived all requirements for education and gave credit for military service for applicants to the San Jose Police Department. So on the surface, this bill may not seem to do a whole lot, but in actual fact, the mere passage of the bill and what it does do will be helpful to veterans and will help to advertise that these benefits are available to veterans. So we'd urge an aye vote.
Are there witnesses in support?
Lorna Grease, Military Officers Association and Vietnam Veterans. We support this bill.
Lorraine Ploss, State Legislative Chair, American Veterans, and Legislative Commissioner of the American Legion. We're in support of this. On a personal note, in a 11-year career with the military, from the Vietnam through the Grenada conflicts, I struggled with this every time I was restationed or my husband was restationed. And then afterwards, for all those years, up till now, I just gave up on medicine because it was just too difficult to repeat and start all over. It's long overdue. Thank you.
Sheen Movasagi on behalf of the California Board of Accountancy in support.
Right, very good. Do we have questions of the members? Mr. Daly?
Madam Chair, the committee analysis points out a couple areas that might need clarification. I like the bill and I want to support it, but I'm just wondering, because of the schedules and timelines here, is the thought that some clarification would occur in the next session, or what was the thinking in terms of how best to accomplish the clarifications?
Did you want to ask your questions? Hopefully, as this is pretty late in the session,
yeah.
And so that's the situation that we're facing right now.
Yeah, and I don't see a dire need for the clarifications this session, but I'm just wondering if there's any intent to follow up on some of the points made by.
You mean when the bill will be implemented?
Well, the clarification on some of the language. I'm on page 4 of the analysis. They're just they're not serious reservations. They're I guess, suggestions for clarifying so that the bill could be more effective?
Yeah, we delayed it, the actual implementation until 2018.
So there's time?
Yes.
There's time?
Yes.
That answers my question.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then again, on the analysis, just a couple of other questions. So is there a documented need for this bill?
Yes, we think so.
Okay, and then the other thing is, and we sort of alluded to it, had you thought about including spouses? Because often the big issue is with the spouses that are moving around.
You know, we have not thought about spouses, but I like that idea. Be happy to consider that if you would want us to take that as an amendment. Here's a too late.
Yeah, I think this was just a suggestion, again, because the time is late, it's hard to look at that. So maybe it's something that has to be worked on later. But those were some of the questions that were brought up by the committee, and thank you for your answers. So we have a motion by Assemblymember Mathis and a second by Assemblymember Solis. Oh, all right.
The motion is do pass and refer to appropriations. Irwin?
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Aye. Ashajian, aye. Alejo? Arambula? Aye. Arambula, aye. Daly? Aye. Daly, aye. Frazier? Aye. Frazier, aye. Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Solis? Aye. Solis, aye. 7-0.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that passes out 7-0. Congratulations.
You bet. We are, but there's no authors, so let's go.
Actually, why don't we do the consent calendar? Yes. Second. So that was Assemblymember Asajian. Is that all right? And a second by Assemblymember Mathis.
The consent calendar, SB 1455 block. This is due pass and refer to appropriations. Irwin? Aye. Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Aye. Ashajian, aye. Alejo? Arambula? Arambula, aye. Daly? Daly, aye. Frazier? Aye. Frazier, aye. Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Solis? Aye. Solis, aye.
Maybe we can go through the bills that Mr. Frazier missed.
Thank you.
SB 866. Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. SB 980. Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. And SB 1059. Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Those are all 7-0.
Yes, I will announce that again because I think most of the assembly members were gone. There is a report on, and this is especially for Mr. Daly, the Orange County Cemetery. That new report is in. If you would like a briefing by Calvet, please feel free. And then we had the audit results come back for the medical software system, and we are going to hold a hearing in August on that. Yes. Senator Lara, we've been waiting.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. SB 1227 would require the California Conservation Corps to collaborate with the California Department of Veteran Affairs in addition to the Employment Development Department to better assist veteran Corps members transition to employment after completing the Corps program. The Corps employs young adults between the ages of 18 and 25 and up to 29. We also know that that same age range for young veterans have higher rates of unemployment than their civilian peers, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
All right. Witnesses in support?
Pete Conity, representing the aforementioned veterans groups. We're in support of this bill. This bill, you know, is, I like to call building bricks, building walls. You know, we put up a brick and we move forward, and the California Conservation Corps has worked diligently to get veterans in there. There are programs for veterans, and I believe this bill will help encourage more veterans and the California Conservation Corps to keep getting veterans involved and getting them jobs.
All right. Do we have any witnesses in opposition? Oh.
Lorna Grease, Military Officers Association and Vietnam Veterans of America. We support this bill. It's a good place to start for some people.
All right. Any questions from the committee? Did we have we had a motion by Assemblymember Salas and a second by Assemblymember Mathis. Can we please have roll call?
Motion is due pass and refer to appropriations. Irwin?
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Ashajian, aye. Alejo? Arambula? Arambula, aye. Daly? Daly, aye. Frazier? Frazier, aye. Mathis? Mathis, aye. Salas? Salas, aye. It's 7-0.
So your bill passes 7-0, and
Thank you,
we
Madam
move
Chair,
on to
members.
appropriations. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would help. No. Are you presenting today? Oh, okay.
Should be this one.
All right, so Senator Jackson's fill-in. I'm sorry, what is your?
My name is Lisa Gardner. I'm Senator Jackson's staffer.
All right, well, welcome. And okay, there we have it. SB 1180, please.
Madam Chair and members, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present on Senator Jackson's behalf. Last year, she authored a bill to provide additional transitional sick leave to disabled veterans just entering the state workforce. This year, she's back to provide a similar benefit to those working in our schools.
Madam Chairman, members, Pete Conity, representing the aforementioned veterans groups, and I worked with Senator Jackson last year on a similar bill for state employees, because what we found is if you get hired, you don't have any sick leave benefits, but if you hire disabled veterans and they need to go to a VA facility for treatment, they're given a terrible choice of going to work, missing work, not getting paid, or missing their appointment. And oftentimes they choose, unfortunately, to miss their appointment. I myself did that quite a few years ago, and the VA never let me forget that I missed an appointment. For 10 years, they kept reminding me that I missed an appointment. So this bill will help make it easier for school employees that are disabled veterans to go to their appointments that they need to go to in their first year. So it's a very good bill. Thank you.
Madam Chair and members, I'm Dolores Durian Flores with the California School Employees Association. We are here also in support of this bill. This bill recognizes that many veterans actually go and work in our schools after, and they do come home with service-related injuries. When they're first hired, they don't get access to much sick leave. So this bill ensures that they would have at least 12 days in the first year until it's like a bridge until the second year when they start to accrue sick leave. We think this is a very important bill for our veterans. I was asked how many veterans we actually represent. Unfortunately, when they do come into our unit, that is not something we traditionally even ask for. But what I can tell you is they do exist, and there are many of them. We have a lot of veterans who are in CSEA's local chapters, in CSEA's local member leaders, as well as on our board of directors. In fact, our past president was in the Marine Corps, and a decorated Marine. So I'll tell you, this is a very important bill, according to them, for me to tell you, and it also shows respect and dignity for the veterans and respecting the fact that they were injured and that we are going to take care of them when they come to work in our schools. So we ask for your aye vote.
Other witnesses in support?
Yes, Lorna Grease with Military Officers Association and Vietnam Veterans of America. We support this bill.
Madam Chair, Assembly Member Seth Bramble here on behalf of the 300,000 members, more than 300,000 members of the California Teachers Association in support of this proposal. I think aside from taking care of men and women who have been in active duty, it's also really important for the transition into schools. We don't want folks who essentially have been hurt having to use the sick leave that they have for what's occurred in combat, rather that they still have the sick leave available to them, especially when we're talking about, being able to take sick leave, how that might affect kids who are in our schools, et cetera. It's really important in our schools that folks are able to take care of themselves. The impact is widespread. Thank you.
Lorraine Ploss, American Veterans. We are in support of this bill, and for the American Legion, Department of California, we're also in support.
All right, Assemblymember Mathis.
The senator is not here, but a lot of people don't quite understand how important this is. Because the veterans, as they come home, as they transition, as they're going through and doing their VA claims, oftentimes it's not, when you go down to the VA, it's not I'm going down for a 1-hour appointment. You're going down there all day. Sometimes 2, and sometimes the processes that are going through in the testing, when looking at what veterans are going through, are excruciating, and will wipe a veteran out for days after. So giving this sick leave to them absolutely helps them out, and their experience as a veteran makes them even more vital to our societies and our communities as teachers. So very supportive of this bill, and it's about time.
Any other comments? I had one question, I guess, for CSEA. You said you're not sure how many veterans you have. How are you planning on outreaching to them to let them know that this would be available to them?
We do have publications that go to all of our members that we do once a month. And then we also have annual conferences where we have delegates that are selected from every one of the chapters that we represent that go back and give information. And we're having that in actually August this year, so we can at least educate them about this bill. And then again, our chapter leaders can go back and take it, just like on any major bill that we support, that these are available to them.
Okay, so but it is that outreach. They are not at any point in the hiring process identified as veterans.
In the hiring process, they might be, but with regard to their union membership, we don't traditionally ask that they check a box about that, but maybe we will now.
All right, thank you. We had a motion by, I think you might be too late for that. We had a motion by Assemblymember Mathis and a second by Assemblymember Asajian. We are very speedy here in this committee. Have the vote, please.
The motion is due, pass, and refer to appropriations. Irwin?
Aye.
Irwin, aye. Chavez? Ashajian? Ashajian, aye. Alejo? Arambula? Arambula, aye. Daly? Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Mathis?
Aye.
Mathis, aye. Solis?
Aye.
Solis, aye. 6-0.
All right, and we will, the bill gets out, you can report back to the senator, and we'll hold the roll for 10 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chairman, could I please say something? I want to thank everybody on the committee for all their hard work and support of veterans, especially you. This committee is a real pleasure to work for. We have very professional staff, and I look forward to working with a lot of you in the coming years. And we'll see everybody hopefully at the Assembly Veterans Lunch tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Conity.
Hey, Mike, Darren, we started working the roll for about 10 minutes, so if he's able to make it, great. Okay, cool. All right. Staff just said they're going to let him know.
You left your mic on and left his binder here.
She had staff do it. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, cool, thanks.